So if you guys didn't know this already, I'm a really big fan of the Battle Royale for Call of Duty Mobile, and it's probably been, and I'm not joking when I say this, it's one of the best Battle Royale experiences that I've ever played. And I've played Battle Royale games on both PC as well as Xbox, but there's just something special about the Battle Royale for Call of Duty Mobile that just fits my aggressive playstyle so much. It's just such a fast-paced Battle Royale experience that I love it, man. There's not really that much else to say. Now, with that said, I kind of want to make this video a pros and cons type of video, but I really want to focus on all the cons currently going on in the Battle Royale, because I feel like this game mode has so much potential, but there is just a couple things here and there, especially bugs that were kind of introduced into Season 3 that I would love to see get fixed, because if these things in my cons list that do get fixed, I feel like a lot more people will be playing the Battle Royale mode for this game, and it will just make the overall gaming experience that much more better for just, you know, regular Battle Royale players as well. Now, with that said, if you guys could go and leave a comment down below, like whether or not you do play Battle Royale or you don't play Battle Royale, maybe just say why you might not play it, or if there's anything that you want to go and see adjusted in the Battle Royale, be sure to go and voice them in the comment section down below. So with that said, we might as well begin with my cons list. So on the very tippity top of this list here, I have game crashing. Now, I know I'm not the only one who is experiencing game crashing, and it's funny because the only reason why I'm going and making this video today is because during yesterday's stream, my game crashed 4 times, and I wasn't even live for 2 hours at that point. So the game crashing is obviously a huge issue, and it's not just like a phone related thing, because I was using the Razer phone too, and I was still experiencing game crashing. I was using the Samsung S10 and still experiencing game crashing, and now I'm using an Asus ROG 2, and I was thinking maybe it could be a phone related thing. So obviously from that, the game crashing has to all be on COD Mobile's end. Now, something that I would like to know, because I have a little bit of a way to go and prevent it, and it's just by going and restarting your application after every 2 games, but I wish there was at least an official statement that could be said, either by, you know, the person who runs the COD Mobile Reddit account, if they could go and make an announcement being like, hey, you know, game crashing is still going to be a thing. Something that we would go and recommend is maybe going and restarting your game after every couple play sessions. Just some type of statement like that would definitely be beneficial, just so I could be like, okay, that's just how I'm going to go and approach games from this point moving forward, is just by going and restarting my phone after every 2 or 3 games. Going on to the next con here, I have desync. Now, desync has been a really big issue for me so far in Season 3, whether or not it's the multiplayer for this game or the Battle Royale. It's just been really prominent, and I want to say it's been starting ever since the whole rank reset for Season 3, because I would say for both Season 1 and Season 2, it wasn't as bad as it is currently like in Season 3. It can almost be unplayable at certain points. Like sometimes I'll be putting so many shots in a guy and none of the bullets will be able to go and register. So very similar to the whole game crashing issue. I know it's not as cut and dry as I would like for it to go and be, because I know all these things can be a little bit complicated. And rest assured, a lot of the issues on my cons list here is just all mechanics based, so it can be easily fixed, but the desync has been really horrible these past few weeks, and I would hopefully like to go and see a fix maybe sometime soon. Going on to the third con here, we have the health placement going and resetting. So for example, let's say you're just playing the Battle Royale and you're getting into a gunfight with someone and you have the adrenaline selected in your health placement, but you also have like a spray can health thing or whatever it's called, and then you have like a first aid. So even though you have an adrenaline hotkeyed in that health placement selection there, the moment you go below 100 health, it's gonna auto switch, and it feels like the default each and every single time is always those spray can health things. It's probably one of the most annoying things possible whenever you're in like a really stressful gunfight and, you know, you want to be able to go and pop a quick heal right away, but the moment you're below 100 health and it just auto switches your healing from the hotkeyed adrenaline then going on to those spray can health things, it can just be so annoying because then you have to go and select the adrenaline, and sometimes when you're in those super stressful situations, you can go and just misclick in certain situations, and it's just a mechanic that I don't really understand that much at all. For the next one here, it's just people's parachutes not loading in properly. Like, I was having this issue a lot as of late, in which, you know, I'll be dropping into a location, and mind you too, it doesn't really matter whatever graphical settings you're playing on, whether or not it's medium or very high. This was still an issue that I was having, in which I'm dropping in a certain location, I wasn't really able to go and see anyone here, but then, you know, surprise to me, I run into a whole squad of guys and I just go and die, because I just went into that whole mindset of, oh, no one's here, so I can go and take my jolly old time going and looting. But no, there was just a whole squad here, and they just absolutely annihilated me. Going on to the next one here, we have the whole looting box mechanic. So let's just say you just got done going and killing a dude, and you're going and looting him, and let's say an enemy just randomly pops up right in front of you. You have to physically back up your character and exit that whole box of looting mechanic in order to go and start shooting. One thing that I would really love to go and see, and there's actually a post that was made on the Reddit talking about this, I would love for your fire button to go and override the whole like looting box mechanic that shows up on your screen when you're going and looting. If that was the case, that would be so clutch, because there's been so many situations in which, you know, I'm going and looting a guy and I'm carefully trying to go and see what I want from him, and then a guy just randomly shows up in front of me, and there's no way that I can go and shoot him right away because he's obviously going to have the advantage just due to that whole mechanic of it's going to be permanently on your screen unless you go and back up from the gunfight and then start shooting the guy. So I have two more cons left. The first one here is the auto to single button placement. I'm not a really big fan of how it's placed just right above your gun. You can easily misclick that, and there's just been so many times in which I've died because I've clicked from auto to single by accident and I didn't even know, and then I'm going into a gunfight assuming that I still have the auto mode on, but no, it's still the single. So I wish you could actually go and map that to be someplace else, because if so, I rarely ever use single shot at all. And if it just so happens that, you know, that 1% of the time in which I would like to go from auto to single, I would just rather have it be placed somewhere else on my screen rather than it being directly right on top of my weapon there, where it can be easily misclicked. And then going on to the final thing here, and I would say this is really annoying, and this class definitely needs to be adjusted, and it's just the mechanic class taking control over everything in your HUD. So don't get me wrong, I really like the idea of the mechanic class just having that drone go and disrupt a character for a very short period of time, but I'm not a big fan of how much it actually takes you out of a gunfight, because you're not able to go and reload your weapon, you're not able to go and swap weapons, you're not able to go and slide properly. It's just, there's a lot of things that can go and hinder you. Like, I really like the base effect, which is just to go and slow down an enemy player, and you can actually go and use the drone as like a radar in a way. Like, I feel like that can be really convenient, but other than that, just the whole mechanic of wiping out everything that you see on your screen, I'm just not a really big fan of that, and I just wish that there were more things available for the person who is under control of the mechanic. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all the cons that I have here on this list so far. If there is any other cons, because I actually just got out of class, so my mind is a little bit foggy right now, but these were just some cons that I thought of off the top of my head. But if there is any more, I will be sure to go and put them in the pinned comment of this video. But like I said in the beginning of this video, this is going to be both a pros and a cons list, and I don't really want to go over the pros that much more in depth. I just want to, you know, say one sentence about each of these and then just kind of continue on, because my main focus was just all of the cons. But we might as well begin with the pros list here. So first off, I'm a really big fan of how fast-paced the action is in this game mode. I feel like that's kind of what separates COD Mobile from a lot of the other battle royales, like PUBG, for example. I feel like is a lot more reserved, and you can go and use a lot more strategies, and you're kind of advantageous if you go and are a little bit more on the campier side. But with COD Mobile, just the fast-paced action, I'm a really big fan of it. There's a lot of situations in which it actually pays to be more aggressive, which I feel like is awesome. And I don't know, like since I am a very aggressive player, it just fits my playstyle so well. For the next one here, I feel like the circle speed that you have, or just the bad zone, I feel like it's really implemented well into this game, whether or not it's the first one or the last circle, and just how much damage it does, the speed that it goes in, everything about the circle I feel like is perfect. Going on to the next one here, the vehicles, whether or not you have the motorbike, which was just introduced, I feel like is really awesome. The helicopters can be so clutch, as well as just, you know, the ATVs or just the normal regular car. Just being able to go and navigate throughout the map with these vehicles, it just is so perfect. Going on to the next pro, I'm a really big fan of the map that we have so far. Like, if anything, maybe shrink it down just a little bit more, like maybe trim out some of the excess cities that you have kind of on the outer sides of the map. But other than that, I'm a really big fan of this map. I'm hoping for Season 4, because it is rumored that Season 4 is when we're going to be getting a new BR map. I'm hoping that it's very similar, and I'm hoping that it's not anything too big, because I feel like what they did with this map is perfect. Going on to the next one, the loot spawns are pretty much perfect for me as well. I know this is supposed to be a battle royale game, and it's supposed to have like an RNG factor to it, and that's kind of what makes it a little bit exciting, but I feel like the loot spawns, they did a really good job. For the next one here, the sound is amazing. I know that with Season 3, they actually just recently tweaked the sound a little bit better, so I feel like the sound is perfect, and I love it so much. And then going on to the final one here, we have the matchmaking. Now, the matchmaking for both Season 1 and Season 2, it wasn't really the greatest in my opinion, but with Season 3, they have definitely made the matchmaking a step higher here. Like, I am a huge fan of what they're doing. Like, I've been noticing a lot more squads in my games, like full entirety squads rather than just solos and solos versus squads. So I'm hoping that they could maybe even at least like tweak the matchmaking just a little bit better. But other than that, really a big fan of the matchmaking. And that's pretty much it for the video. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Be sure to go and let me know in the comment section down below how you believe COD Mobile should go and tweak the Battle Royale to make it better. But with that said, my name is Parker. Hopefully you guys are having wonderful and fabulous aesthetics. I certainly am. And I guess I'll talk to you guys within the next video.